Another year, another Apple Watch. And Apple have given us a lovely 25-minute presentation on the Apple Watch Series 9 and the Apple Watch Ultra 2. But is it actually a decent upgrade? And is it worth getting one if you've got last year's model, the Series 8? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you the 5 major changes that's come to the Apple Watch Series 9. Now, first off, let's start by saying that there isn't a huge change in the appearance of the Apple Watch Series 9. It looks pretty much identical to the Series 8 from last year. The bands might have changed, but they're interchangeable anyway, so you could just swap them out. And the face and the dimensions and the bezels pretty much have remained exactly the same. So when you put them side by side, you wouldn't necessarily be able to tell any differences. But there are a few changes which I'm going to run through with you now. First of all, the Series 9 is made from completely recyclable materials, which means that it is Apple's first carbon neutral product. They claim that they have reduced the carbon footprint down by 78%, and the remainder is offset by them planting trees and forests and all that kind of stuff, which means that it is now their first carbon neutral product. So as far as the everyday use of the watch, that's not really going to affect you, but it is nice to know that you're helping the environment. Secondly, we get a brand new S9 chip, which apparently is extremely powerful, and it makes the GPU 30% more powerful than last year's model. This gives it a whole range of new features that it can do and new gestures it can do, and it makes the overall engagement with the watch a lot smoother. So if you're using the apps or you're opening or closing apps, it makes it a lot more smoother and seamless. This moves us on nicely to the new Siri health questions that you can ask. This is powered by the new chip. You can now ask your watch to tell you your step count for the day, what your heart rate is, how many hours you've slept, to start a run for you, to tell you how your workout wheel and activity wheel is looking for the day. You can ask it all sorts of questions. Now, I'll be interested to test this and see how many questions you can ask it and if it actually gives you accurate readings. But this seems like a really nice little feature that you can now just ask your watch to tell you all your health stats for the day or in general, and it can answer them for you. Next up, we have the brightness levels. This watch now gets up to 2000 nits of peak brightness, which is going to be really easy to look at in direct sunlight. You could just have a quick look at your watch in bright sunlight and it won't be hard to see. It'll be nice and bright, nice and vibrant, and that's a really nice thing to have. You will also be able to take it down to 1 nit if you're in a situation like you're going to bed, or you are in a movie theater, or you're in somewhere where all the lights are dimmed. You don't really want a 2000 nit brightness screen. You want the brightness to be a lot lower, so that'll be nice to have as well. Next up, we have probably the biggest feature of the Series 9, and that is the double tap feature. Now, what you can do with this is it uses the muscles and the blood flow and loads of other technical stuff to be able to tell when you're double tapping your index finger and your thumb together. And this can be used to answer a phone call, to end a phone call. If nothing's happening at the time, you can use it to open up the stack on your watch of stack of apps and widgets like the weather and news and all that kind of stuff, and then cycle through them. You can use it to mute your alarm in the morning. You can basically use it for anything. So whatever pops up on your phone, this or on your watch, this is going to be the primary button. So for example, an alarm, the primary button would be to snooze it. That's what this is going to do. So whatever pops up, whatever notification pops up, you can double tap and it will engage with that, wherever the primary action would be. Now, this is really useful for things like if you're walking the dog, or if you're cooking, or if you're holding a child in one arm. It's just a really useful addition to the Apple Watch. And then just a bonus feature for you, you also get precision finding on iPhone. So you already have the feature where you can use your watch to find your iPhone, and your iPhone will start dinging and making a noise. But now you can look at your watch and you can get exact directions and countdown of how many feet there are away from your phone, and just use that like a compass until you eventually find your phone. So those are all the major changes to the Apple Watch Series 9. The next question is, should you upgrade it? Now, let's have a look at it. So you've got the first carbon neutral product from Apple. You've got a brand new chip, which enables precision finding, brightness levels, the double tap feature, and you've also got the Siri health questions. Now, does that mean that you should upgrade over last year's watch? Probably not. I would wait until you can get the Series 8 on something like Black Friday or Amazon Prime Day, something like that, and then you can get it at a heavily discounted rate, and that will save you a lot of money. It just boils down to the fact of whether or not you want to ask Siri health questions or whether you want that double tap feature. Those are the major changes. The chip is a really good addition, but I don't think it is going to be a major factor for most people, especially if you've already got the Series 8. So if you've got something like a Series 6 or even a Series 7, I would consider maybe upgrading to the Series 9. But if you've just got the Series 8, I wouldn't go rushing out just yet. I would wait until you get a major design change. Maybe next year when we might get some thinner bezels and a redesign of the actual watch itself. But just yet, the double tap and the Siri health questions are the major changes to the Series 9 that I think are going to affect most people. So let me know in the comments below, are you going to be getting the Series 9? What do you think of it? And if you want to know whether you should get the iPhone 15 Pro or not, just watch this.